What's up? It's Juice Beats, back again with another race video. And this one is the Music City Crit Series number 8, going around the 180 course today. And it's a scorcher out there, so definitely a hot day trying to navigate through the peloton here in the heat and you know, keeping myself cool out there. This one was a pretty fast one, 25.5 miles an hour. We went for, 40 minutes just like normal here. And I averaged 285 watts, 1420 watt max with a 341 normalized. So I think that's a little bit more than I've done in the past on this course. So pretty decent stats. Big numbers there. I think one of the things that I was concentrating on in this race was staying closer to the front in this one. So you'll see me, I don't remember, or I don't recall, because it's been a while since I've actually done this race, falling back to the back too much in this one. So I think this was one where I was ready for any moves out front, and I was also feeling really good on this day. I remember just from thinking about it that my legs felt really good. I was ready to go. Felt pretty. I'm feeling like I'm in great shape, I guess, at this time. So this race was going to be a good one for me. And I think I took the 180 pretty well in this one as well. I think there was only a few times during this race where I had to brake a little bit, but for the most part, I think I was going around it pretty well and not having to brake and not having to slow down too much. So I think that helps a lot when you're out closer to the front. You have a little bit better choice line there, and you can take that a little bit better there. So we've gone around once, pumping out the watts here on this back stretch. Nothing too crazy is going on. Obviously, early in the race, we're only a couple minutes in here, and you can see how many watts I'm doing at the moment. We are going pretty fast. I can't remember. I think we may have had a slight tailwind on this day. I'm not sure, but I mean, we're moving pretty fast, and I'm not having to put out a whole lot of watts there. So that may be the case there. I'm looking at the flags over there on the right to see. It's kind of hard to tell on the video here, but I can see that they're slowing down here, and I'm not doing any watts. I'm moving up here, and I'm looking at everybody else at this point. I'm looking at them to see what they're doing. I'm actually calling them out at this point. I'm like, I'm not taking the front. What are we doing? But I end up not really taking the front. Like I'm not doing a ton of work or anything right here. I'm really soft pedaling. You can see I'm not doing a whole lot of watts at the moment. Obviously going around the 180 here. Let's see what I do. Yeah, not pushing out either. So 400 watts. Going around the 180, I'm usually like 800 watts or something like that. So not pushing out too hard. I'm not putting anything into this. I'm not using up a whole lot of energy. I'm looking back. I think at this point, I'm looking at everybody else, and I also, here I go. I pull off because, there's no reason for me to be leading out the pack and being out front at this point. So I'm looking at everybody else and seeing, who wants to take the front, who's going to take the lead at this point. So that I'm not, I'm not leading everybody out. I think I'm talking to Max as well right here. And just kind of gauging what's going on here and seeing what we're doing. And at this point in the race, I'm just watching for I'm not by myself in this one. I think Terrell was actually in this race. This has been over a month since I did this race, so I'm trying to remember everything. But obviously the big teams right there in the pink uniforms there, Safety Herd, and then also Hub Cycling, the big junior team, the same teams that have been out here throughout all these weeks at the Music City Crit Series. You know, we've brought a bigger team in the past, but a lot of the guys haven't had a chance to get back out here at MCC. So I think it's just Terrell and I in this one for this race. But yeah, gotta watch out for, you know, the pink jerseys and the black Hub jerseys there, and make sure that they're not getting away on this one. I'm not sure who that is in the pink at the moment, but yeah, I'm not gonna chase it because he's not trying to pull away. He's not pushing out a whole lot of watts at this moment, so I'm not trying to go after that. But here we go. Here's our first attack of the race. We're, you know, a little over 5 minutes in, almost 6 minutes in, and let's see what everybody else do. We've got a little bit of a follow here, and, you know, just got to stick onto a wheel at this point and follow that up. We're moving pretty decently, though. You can see we're over 30 miles an hour on this backstretch, which is a good sign that we're moving pretty well and that we're moving fast in this race. And like I said, 25.5 miles an hour for this one, around the 180. That's pretty fast for this 3-4 race. Usually I want to say it's in the lower 25 or even 24 sometimes when this is a slower type race. But like I said at the beginning of the video, my goal was to kind of stick towards the front in this one. I didn't want anything to go, in the past in some of these races that we've done. Guys have gone off the front and we weren't there to close it or anything like that. So that was my main thing for this one, is just to make sure things like that didn't happen and that I was in any move or anything that went off the front there. But here we go. We got a little bit of a gap at this moment. You can see how far the peloton is behind us, and I want to say that I'm calling it out here. I am, yeah. I can hear myself calling it out. We got a gap, and I'm trying to motivate the guys, but the peloton is actually pushing pretty hard behind us, and you can see they are closing. I want to say that's Nick just behind me, so he's closing that gap for us and getting back. So I see that happens, and I kind of concede and just kind of pull back a little bit on the wattage here. So far only a couple attacks. We had a little bit of a gap there, but yeah, nothing too crazy so far. And I think I'm looking to everybody else like we're slowing down here, and then I decide to put on a little bit of a move here. Not sure what I was thinking at this moment. Maybe I was just thinking that we were going a little bit slow for my liking, and I wanted to push it out a little bit more, or maybe I was just thinking I could catch them by a little bit of surprise and push the peloton. Since they did have to kind of catch up to us in that little gap that we had a moment ago, that maybe I could tire out some people in the back at that moment. So when you've got guys that are, trying to catch up to you after, somewhat of an attack or, a gap or something like that, and then you attack again, you can tire people out a little bit quicker that way. So maybe that's what I was thinking at that moment. And like I said, this has been over a month or so. So the tactics there, it's hard to remember all of that. But just looking at what's going on, that could have been what was going on in my head at that moment. Just attacking after, they already had to put out a big dig to catch back up to us. And then you can see the counterattack there, pushing out. So already some attacks and some counterattacks in this one. And that's why I think this one was a little bit faster than, some of the other races that we've had out here. Guys were pretty motivated to keep the speed up, it seemed, and yeah, it's looking like it's looking like we're gonna keep this thing going here. So skipping forward, we're on lap 9, about 17 minutes into the race here, and I've been sitting around mid-pack-ish, something like that. Not really doing a whole lot of work towards the front. Obviously, really hasn't been a whole lot going on as well. Like I kind of scrubbed through just to see if, you know, there were some other attacks or if there's anything else going on in this race, but really nothing else has really gone on. So I kind of, you know, moved back a little bit, conserving the energy, making sure that, you know, I've got the energy for the rest of this race here. And you can see just looking out, you know, at different parts of the peloton here to see what's going to go on in the race. You can see guys are not really wanting to take the lead very much here. We're all kind of spread out at this point. And when I see that we're all kind of spread out like this, then you know, that's a good chance for an attack to go. So I'm you know, I'm being cautious and I'm kind of looking out for that. But you know, also that's a good chance to kind of rest your legs a little bit too if it's going to be like this. So in the pro races, if it does this is where people really like attack. So you know, not everybody has those instincts quite yet for this 3-4 race, but you know, that's the point that you're trying to get to. So yeah, nobody's really done any of that right there. So, and that's you know, kind of I wouldn't say it's a pro move, but it is a pro move, if you know what I'm saying. Skipping forward a little bit, lap 14, we have a little bit of movement over here. There goes my teammate. I see that it's my teammate right behind there, so I kind of fake like I'm gonna go after it and pull back a little bit. But then when I see, you know, somebody else trying to bridge up to it, then I'm gonna get on their wheel and go for it. And there we go. Now we've got a little bit of a counter attack. My teammate's gonna hold back, and I'm right on John's wheel here. And I believe this is a Pream lap. So yeah, I remember this being a Pream lap. So, you know, I went after it. John and I've got a little bit of a gap here, and I'm gonna push this one out a little bit more than I normally would, because the Pream laps in this race, you have a chance to win some pretty sweet zip wheels. So anytime that you win a Pream lap, you're entered into the raffle or the, yeah, I guess it's the raffle. So you're entered into that. At the end of the series, they're gonna, I guess, pull your name out of the hat. However many Pream laps is how many chances you get in there. So I think I've got like maybe 2 or 3 this year. So nice to have that. I also got a pretty nice $40 Pream there. So pays for the entry fees for both races that I do out here. So so $40 Pream lap, just took that one, and yeah, and then I'm gonna settle back in here and let somebody else take it. And there they go, obviously, with the counter attacks. Just gotta get on somebody's wheel and make sure the gaps don't get too far here at this point. We are closing in on the last few laps of the race. We're, you know, 27 minutes in, so about 13 or so minutes left in this 40-minute race. Yeah, I may have let this gap go a little bit too much, but I could kind of see that they weren't really, you know, gelling yet. And they weren't really working together all that much, so I felt like I could, you know, close this down if I needed to. And I don't think I really needed to go after it, you know. And then it also helps when other guys come around you and help kind of bridge that gap as well. Here we go, lap 18. There's that stud Matt behind me, the handlebar mustache, looking like a road racer out there. And here we go. We're on 3 laps to go at this point. You know, I've like I said, I've stuck closer to the front in this one. Tried to make myself stay out there and make sure things didn't go anywhere. We've had some attacks, we've had, you know, some counterattacks, we've had things, you know, push out, whatever. We're going really slow at this point. We're, you know, 24 miles an hour. So I'm just waiting on somebody to take charge and kind of lead this one out, I guess, in the last few laps. So that's what I'm watching for, but also I think I'm sitting in pretty decent position for where I want to be for the, you know, the ending here, and trying to, you know, make sure that I'm ready for any sort of attack, or, you know, getting ready for that sprint towards the end as well. So I think this is a pretty decent position for me, especially in this race, where I know I can, you know, push out the watts to be able to get out to the front if I need to. So here we go, going into the last 2 laps of the race, and let's see how I navigate this one in the last 2 laps. So there's the 2 to go. Going around the 180, pretty decent, getting a good, decent line there. Taking it at 22 miles an hour or so. So here we go. A little bit spread out here. Ugh. I'm looking over there at Max's wheel, and it looked like they were getting pretty close over there. Almost overlapping wheels, but yeah. I think this is Julian out front. So he's kind of leading everything out. We're not going super fast yet. There's I believe that's a lapped rider out to the right there as well. Yeah. Masters lapped rider there. So I'm waiting to see, you know, when this thing's going to pick up. When are the people going to try to push this thing out and see what happens? And I'm looking over to my right. Here we go. There it is, right there. There's a push out. There's the attacks. There they're going. Everybody's starting to follow that. And so what I'm thinking here, okay, so we're going into 1 lap to go. He got a decent push there, a good attack, but I'm not sure how strong he is to be able to hold that. And I'm looking at it, you know, I'm looking at the rest of the guys that jumped out in front of me here, and I'm thinking, okay, you know, I just got to follow their wheels at this point, and I think we can catch him. And yeah, and you can see things are getting a little bit spread out here. And I'm kind of trusting the guys that in front of me are wanting to catch that as well going into this last lap. Get a little bit, I had to scrub a little bit of speed going around that one, but I'm still on it here. Getting shuffled a little bit at this point in the race, and this is when I see Matt come up on my right here, and I get up on his wheel. He's moving at a different speed, I think, than most of the other guys, giving me a pretty decent lead out at this point, and bringing us back up. But you can see the guy that put out an attack there, I believe it's Richard. You see he's got a pretty decent lead there, and I've got to kick it into gear at this point. So Matt gave me a pretty decent lead out to be able to do this little punch right here on the backstretch, where I like to put my attacks in a lot of times. 36 miles an hour, I think almost 37 miles an hour on that backstretch, and you can see I'm closing in now. He's losing a little bit of momentum at this point in the race, and we still have to go around the first part of the 180 here. And yeah, I've just got a lot of momentum at this point.
Too soon, Junior.
I'm looking at him, he's looking at me, and he can see me go right by there. He's right behind me though, still. So I put in a little bit more of a push out. I think he had run out of a little bit of a steam there, and there it is. Over the finish line, first place, Music City Crits number 8. And yeah, took another win at the Music City Crits series there. I felt, you know, felt really good on this day. Felt, you know, pretty decent there on that last little bit where I had a lot of explosive energy to put out there and be able to catch up to them at the last minute there. And yeah. So it took another win down in the Music City Crit Series race, getting the daps from all the guys out there. And yeah, I'll be posting the next few races up hopefully shortly. It's been rough. The kids have been home all summer, like I've said in past videos. So I'm trying to be able to get these videos done when I can, and in between when I'm not taking them to the pool or to the park or wherever else. So yeah, anyway, if you like this video, please like and subscribe, hit that bell icon so you know when I post videos, and yo, I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.